Hey, what's up, you guys? Ew! Ew, ew, ew. What is all that? Oh. Basketball Jones. I got a basketball Jones.
Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. Okay, here we go. Woo. The bomb! What the bomb?
Fantastic.
Ah, blew his toe off.
Call him Bob.
Taking that toe.
Get out of my fucking game! Whose house? Mira's house. Bitch, I run this city. But only consensually. Girl, you know I'm gonna ask for permission. Hey everybody, welcome to what we're going to now call episode 1 of Digital Recess, the podcast formerly known as the Future Gamers Podcast. I'm joined here today by your old buddy at BestintheRealm, Jacob. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Glad to be back on the podcast. We took a little bit of a break there.
Yeah.
Went a little bit crazy. Made a new show.
Yeah, real life happened. You've got a young son. The start of the year was rough in a lot of ways for most of us. I am your old host, I guess your new host technically, Trollbeard, aka the internet's creepy uncle.
I like that. That's sticking.
So this is at Best in the Realm, aka Thick Flair, you know.
All right. Thick Flair and the internet's creepy uncle.
So, to get this started, you know, this podcast is pretty much the same thing. If anybody checked out the Future Gamers Podcast, same stuff, except it's not going to be weird if we talk about a few other things in our life, such as, you know, shows, music, whatever we're using to kill the time and enjoy ourselves. So I guess we're going to start off here and talk about what we've been up to recently, just the basics. You've been watching anything lately there, Jake?
I just want to start by saying I'm really disappointed because a bunch of people already have the name Thick Flair. I had to go look.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Your disappointment. No, so what have you been watching lately?
So lately, me and the missus have been watching, Trigger Warning. Do you have Netflix?
I need to start it back up. It's weird. Like, I got the emails, like, so Sony gave out a lot of people that were PlayStation Plus members a voucher for like 3 free months of Netflix.
Oh, wow.
And I had redeemed it because, you know, it had an expiration date. And then I proceeded to watch, like, almost the entirety of both seasons of Castlevania on Netflix. And then I proceeded to not watch anything else. So, like, in the past week, I've gotten emails like, hey, buddy, add a payment method if you want your Netflix to keep going. I was like, oh, shit, it's already been 3 months?
Netflix is where we primarily watch everything. And I just wanted to throw out, just in case people are confused, this is formerly a Future Gamers. This is now Digital Recess. So we're going to talk about movies, games, TV shows, music, whatever. We're still going to talk about games probably mainly, but sometimes there's nothing to talk about with games, and sometimes we don't have time to play games, and sometimes you just turn a movie on and that's what happens. So I think this will allow us to have more people on and to have better conversations and, you know, just be a better show. We're doing the opposite of what some companies do. We're actually condensing all the shit we do into one show.
Yeah, let us get our footing here and have a nice, easy to go to spot for everything.
Pretty much. So now that we got that out of the way, yeah, there's a show on Netflix, which coincidentally coincides with some of my favorite musicians, Run the Jewels, Killer Mike and LP. Killer Mike now has a show on Netflix called Trigger Warning, and it is fantastic. The first episode, and, you know, he is a large black man, so the first episode, he realizes that the Asian community, the Jewish community, they're very good, and some other communities are very good at keeping money within their communities. So they'll go down to like an Asian like Jiffy store or whatever it may be, and they just use their own community stuff. Whereas his community, the black community, they're terrible at doing that. So he spent 3 days only being serviced by black families at restaurants, farmers, barbers, stores. He had a cell phone made by a company that's owned by a black man, all that type of thing. So it was absolutely fascinating. And he's really into marijuana, and he couldn't get that anywhere.
Yeah, because he lives still in Georgia, I want to say, because he's part of the old Atlanta crew.
Right. He, at least for this show, that's where he was going.
Yeah.
But in the second episode is about public schools, how bad they are, pretty much, and how they don't teach trade skills anymore.
Yeah,
so it is his solution to that. That's all I'm going to say about that, because that episode's fucked up.
I wonder if he's going to touch on the racist subway of Atlanta. Any?
No, I don't think he does anything that specific.
Yeah.
I think he has like an NRA episode. He did more broad strokes. But yeah, we're definitely gonna watch a bit more of that. I also watched the 3+ hour Joe Rogan podcast with him.
Yeah, Killer Mike's always been one of those fascinating guys to see, like, like where he started. It's kind of like the guy 2 Chainz. It's like the rapper 2 Chainz. He started off just this dude in the posse for Ludacris called Titty Boy. That's what he used to be referred to as, Titty Boy. And so now anytime I've ever heard anybody mention 2 Chainz, I'm just like, oh, you mean Titty Boy?
So, with your obscure fucking knowledge on gaming, are we going to find out you have all kinds of other knowledge?
I grew up in the hood. If it's like early 90s to mid 2000s rap, I probably know some random bullshit. But because Killer Mike was one of those guys, like, he showed up on like Outkast albums, he showed up on individual albums.
He's just kind of been around forever.
Yeah, like he's
but so has LP.
Yeah,
both of those guys have been around forever, have been successful
from their original scenes, because LP's from up in New York, so a lot of the Upper East Coast rap guys he showed up on, because he was, like, LP stands for El Producto. He was a producer, just making beats before he started rapping and his own stuff.
Yeah, I feel like both those guys have been like moderately successful. I can't, we don't really know, but man, Run the Jewels, they fucking blew up. Yeah,
they blew up. I love. I was randomly talking about Run the Jewels today with a guy at work because I don't remember how it came up, but we were talking about when they did Meow the Jewels.
What?
So it's the first or second album. They redid like all the tracks where all the beats are cat sounds.
Oh my god.
And some of it is actually great. Like, it started off as a joke, and then they said, fuck it, why not? And they put out, like I said, the entire album. They go back in with the original like recordings, or redo some of the recordings to fit like the new beat. And it's all like cat sounds, and there's a music video that Adult Swim produced with them. It's like all this super weird, like trippy, like CG art of cats that's playing out like fractals. So like there's like weird parts of cats sprouting off of other parts of cats.
Oh my god. I'm gonna deep dive on this later.
Yeah, like I'll send that to you in the Discord. But like some of those beats are actually like super great. Like, really shows the talent of a guy like LP, like delivering so hard on the meme. But yeah, that when you're talking about like his show, it reminded me of like some of the weird stuff I've like whenever I would actively be watching Netflix, some of the weird deep dive stuff, because primarily, if I was on Netflix, I was watching documentaries. Because, like, outside of anime, like, documentaries is, like, my primary thing I get around to watching.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one of the documentaries I saw covered, like, individual weird things about, like, cultures and families. And this one was, this spotlight on this, like, this Mississippi family. And it's this Chinese family that lives in that area.
Mm-hmm.
So much like San Francisco was at the, the end of like the Transcontinental Railroad or the Trans-American Railroad. And, so much of the, not exactly slave labor, but slave labor building the railroads back in the day is why there's such a massive Chinese population starting in San Francisco, because that's where the boats come in and the workers would travel down the line to work on it. So in Mississippi, like at the end, essentially, of that rail line, of a fairly big community of these Chinese families stayed in Mississippi. And so now, like, there's entire, like, families of Chinese people that are, indigenous to this area now. So they have, standard Mississippi Southern accents, but they still have, like, a lot of their Chinese heritage and culture. So you get these weird, like, Southern fried versions of, like, Chinese food.
What is this called?
I don't know. I need to look it back up, just because it was, like, one of those weird things you stumble across and you're like, well, that's fascinating. Because, like, the state I live in, Arkansas, not too far from where I live, is where one of the Japanese internment camps was in World War II. So there's a city here in Arkansas that's a sister city with a city in Japan. It's like, it was this weird kind of like outreach program of both of these cities that had, basically internment camps for residents of the other country.
Yeah.
And it was this kind of like outreach program to send people back and forth and try to make amends. But yeah, there's like, elderly, Japanese families in the state you would come across, and you're like, you see their name and you talk to them, it's like, they're probably they probably personally dealt with having to just sit in like these weird tents and these weird outhouses. Yeah,
that was a crazy situation.
Yeah, George, I would say George Takei from Star Trek had to deal with that.
Yep, he did. Yeah, it's pretty wild. We're kind of doing that again right now. Some of this stuff.
Yeah.
But that's a conversation for a more serious conversation for another time.
But yeah, it was funny, like, where I when I was working more directly in retail and not just like grunt work now that I do, in the mornings. This group of Japanese tourists was coming through the area, and it was so weird, like the cultural spots in English that stand out in their country and they're looking for here. Like this older man, wearing this hat for like this Japanese baseball team. Like he spoke English well enough for the group, but I guess most of the other people did not speak English well, because these were 50, 60-year-old people, and he was asking me about this group called Celtic Woman. It's like,
the hell?
It's like this group of like Irish folk singers that like have been on like, like infomercials of like the songs.
Okay.
Like imagine like old TV commercials for like Yanni, the master of the pan flute. Like these weird compilations of this, like these ladies. They're like a group. They record like traditional like Irish music, but also they cover other songs. For some reason, this was a group that was well known enough to this group of people from Japan that they happened to look for a CD in the middle of nowhere, Arkansas, while they were in America. It's like, man, it's odd that this is the one thing that these people pulled as they're here visiting for who knows how long. But yeah, weird things you find in the reality of life
Yeah.
when you just look a little deeper.
It can happen. I decided to go a bit more shallow. We watched Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom.
Man, you want to talk about just like a why does this exist movie?
I love. There's a thing I saw on Reddit. The Jurassic Park is a movie about old things that should not come back, and it has 5 sequels. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god. Hey, I liked, for the record, I like Jurassic World. I like the first one. It's a fun movie. This one is so fucking long.
Yeah, it's just like there's some great moments in that movie, but it's just like the whole time watching, I was like, they've already done this.
Oh yeah, no, about an hour and a half in, it was about 40 minutes left. I told Cam, I'm like, spoilers. The raptor is gonna kill the other raptor at the end. She's like, "What? How do you? What, you've already seen this?" I'm like, "No." So I mean, kinda.
Like this is like the most transparent, plot points ever.
Yeah.
And they made the poor old Asian scientist guy into the bad guy now. I was like,
That
really,
was
guys?
cool, though. That was a cool moment.
Yeah, but then they haven't really done much with it other than just like
No.
show weird people trying to buy dinosaurs.
But then, like, I remember someone talking about this on a podcast before, but the whole laser rifle that you point at people and the raptor attacks them, like, just fucking shoot them.
Yeah. Yeah, like if you've got to be that direct, it's like, I mean, you'd hope that they'd have like this as like some sort of satellite array in the future, and this is just proof of concept. But yeah, right now this does not look favorable, guys. Like I would not spend money on this. This is how you've got to send dinosaurs to people.
When I was watching it, and I remember people making fun of it, I was looking for that. I was looking for them to be like, "This is proof of concept, and here is how it's actually."
They don't mention it at all.
This is it. This is the end of their idea. This movie was written by a 9-year-old. Like,
yeah, like
it's bad. It's real bad.
Yeah, thankfully there's less scenes of poor Bryce Dallas Howard running in heels.
So weird.
Yeah, dude, she was
So many
running
weird
like
decisions.
like insane, like goddamn Tom
Yeah.
Cruise in high heels in that first movie. Is like this poor woman has done some ridiculously like unnecessarily dangerous shit at different points in her life. Because one of the podcasts you probably listened to, did you listen to the Spider-Man 3 in review from the Kind of Funny guys?
Not yet. I haven't listened to those.
So they talk about the fact that Bryce Dallas Howard is like in that movie as like Felicia Hardy, I want to say, and the whole time she's in that movie as like the attractive like blonde girl that is kind of like maybe throwing some tension into the Peter and Mary Jane relationship. She's pregnant as they're filming that movie. And like there's scenes where she's doing some like the on wire work and she's like 4 months pregnant. So like she was hanging from ropes dangerously when she was pregnant, in Spider-Man 3.
She played Gwen Stacy. Holy shit.
Or yeah, Gwen Stacy. But yeah, and then that movie she's just like YOLO on these tall high heels and like the white dress she was wearing, like I want to say in that Jurassic World was like, man, that's gotta suck trying to run in that whole outfit.
Yeah.
That can go bad fast. As a fat man who's had to wear heels twice for reasons I don't want to discuss.
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah. Yeah, that's dangerous territory.
Yeah, everything in that movie felt really telegraphed. Like the little girl hiding, and the stuff. It was like, oh, she's gonna be the one to figure out what's actually wrong. Like, oh, the guy, this guy's clearly a bad guy, but he's not supposed to be obviously a bad guy. And it's just like,
yeah,
I don't know. It just felt like the laziest version. Felt like maybe an AI wrote it. I don't know.
Yeah, this is machine learning the script.
It was very disappointing because like Jurassic Park 2 It was like one of my favorite movies. People shit on it, but it's fantastic. I love Jurassic Park. I love the first three movies, even if the third one's not great. They're better movies than this one for sure.
Yeah, this one was just like, it's not bad. It's just like, why are we bothering, guys? Like,
oh no, this one's bad. Fallen Kingdom's bad. I would say Fallen Kingdom is bad. Like, there's not a lot of cool moments in it.
yeah, it's just
Some of the cool moments are from the first one.
It's just tedious and redone.
Yeah. I would prefer if they just like did what they did with the Star Wars episode 7 and like did a beat for beat fucking reboot. But it's whatever. Here nor there. The other thing I watched was the Fire Festival documentaries. Have you seen these yet?
I haven't seen either one. I've seen people talk about it, and I've heard the different podcasts I've listened to.
Yeah, homework for next week. You need to watch it. They're good. They're very entertaining.
Yeah, because like it was like getting into the weird minutia of a few people talking about the fact that I think it's the Netflix one is actually produced by the people that were doing the fucking festivals.
The social media. They were doing the social media.
Yeah.
They did a good job though. I feel like, God, they put out a lot of information. They really did. So I take it with a grain of salt, absolutely, for sure.
Yeah.
But they did do a good job.
The Hulu one is made by the guy who kind of got out from that group and is talking shit about the group that made the Netflix one. I was like, that's some streaming service shade right there when Hulu drops theirs first. And it's got a guy talking shit about the guys making the Netflix one.
I would recommend watching the Hulu one first. But they're fantastic. They're equal parts funny. Oh, sorry. It's a bit late. Funny, terrifying, and they will piss you off. Like, they're worth watching. Did you watch anything this week?
Not really. I've been just trying to get through the day. I've been following a couple different random like Smash Bros tournaments and a few other fighting game events that have popped up.
Right. That's another reason I wanted to do this format, so we could talk about stuff like that and what we've been watching on YouTube or whatever. So.
Yeah, I was thinking about rewatching a playthrough of Resident Evil 3.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I remember so little of Resident Evil 3, and I never played through much of Resident Evil 6, because Resident Evil 6 was so, like, aggressively annoying and bad to me. Like,
I don't think I played through any of them.
Yeah, because
5.
Because I played Resident Evil 1. Resident Evil 2 is one of my all-time favorite games. And a game I used to technically, I guess, speedrun back in the day.
Do we know yet, is the new Resident Evil 2 good?
Yeah, I mean, it's got like a 90-ish on Metacritic.
Okay, literally the only thing I've heard is Michael Jones from Achievement Hunter didn't like it, but he was just saying like it's not a game he enjoys.
Yeah, I mean, it's they've doubled down on the traditional Resident Evil style. Because Resident Evil 7, I need to give another shot. Because I played Resident Evil 7 originally when it first came out. And I do believe some of the updates they've made to that game have kind of solved some of my personal issues with it. Was like that game just felt so fucking slow. Like even just like your turn speed, with your first person camera was like super fucking slow. And a lot of that was because of the VR development. Because,
Really? Even with the controller?
Yeah, because you can't, short of making a whole different like VR mode, because you just play that game start to finish, drop in, drop out, into VR, or play regular. So I guess they didn't want like the base character model like moving too fast, to reduce motion sickness.
Mm-hmm.
And it like there were feelings of me like playing that game, and like the walk speed isn't increased. If when you finish the game within like certain parameters, you unlock running shoes, which lets your character move a little faster. But like I said, just turning left and right, like the way it felt, just felt to me personally like, oh, this would be way better if I was just looking left and right, and I'm turning slow because I'm not. I'm trying not to like make myself dizzy if I'm wearing a fucking headset. But I think they've kind of like patched some of that weirdness and made it like much more like stable and enjoyable for people that aren't playing in VR. Because I loved what I had played Resident Evil 7 in the beginning, but it's just like ugh. Like the longer I played, like the more like bad it felt, like control wise.
Right.
But yeah, like I've played all the Resident Evils. I mean, I've even played through Revelations 1 and 2, which are pretty decent little co-op games.
But one of those are on Game Pass, aren't they?
I believe, yeah, Revelations and the re-release of the remake of Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil
remake of the reboot of the.
Yeah, I think Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 1 and Revelations 1. Are those worth playing? They're old Resident Evil essentially. Mm-hmm. Now the Revelations games are kind of more like closer to the vein of Resident Evil 4 and 5 than they would be like the Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 1 are the old style, like, you know, isometric camera or you know, lock camera perspective, kind of tank controls. Well, 0 and 1 still have tank controls. They just look better and like have a lot of quality of life movements, but they're not like Revelations. You've got like full like third person control perspective, and it's a 2-player co-op game. So it's closer to 5, just not as like immediately action oriented. It's kind of putting in more of the like survival horror elements back into that kind of control scheme, but with really bad stories. Personally, but that's the majority of the Resident Evil games is like awful stories.
You know what my favorite Resident Evil game is?
What is that?
I'm looking it up right now. Resident Evil Gaiden for the Game Boy Color.
Oh yeah, I
think that's the one I played the most. I'm looking at screenshots of it right now. It looks so bad.
Yeah, like it's just like I don't remember. Like the only thing I really remember for Resident Evil 3 is like the majority of Resident Evil 3, like you're having to deal with like the tyrant chasing you.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, you nuke Raccoon City.
Is Nemesis a tyrant?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, I thought it was his own thing.
No, like so, like Mr. X, you've probably maybe seen in some of the trailers for Resident Evil 2, the remake. They went with like some old concept art of him where he's like wearing this cool trench coat, and now he's got this like sick fedora, so he just looks like an old detective. This is just a giant monster chasing you through this police station that happens to be an art museum. But so yeah, the Nemesis that's chasing you, because you know that's the subtitle for Resident Evil 3. Yeah, I just remember like you're going in and you're kind of like cleaning up some of the aftermath mess of Resident Evil 2. And like I said, you end up nuking Raccoon City, I want to say, at the end of that game.
Right.
Like I don't remember anything else outside of that, but like I legitimately like no hyperbole, I played through Resident Evil 2 100 times or more.
So was he in the? Oh yeah, he was. See, that's how little I played Resident Evil 2. I don't remember him in the game.
Yeah, I want to say Mr. X doesn't show up until like the B run. So like you play through the A sequence is one character, and then he shows up in the B run for the next character. But
I did have the action figure with him and his claws out though.
Yeah, because in the Resident Evil 2, like the original version, you used to be able to like fuck him up and like get some loot off of him. Like he'd like disappear for a minute after you knocked him out, and there'd usually be like some ammo or like some health or whatever. Apparently, in the remake, like you like blast this guy and he's hard to kill because everything's hard to kill in the remake, and he just takes a knee for a few seconds, and it's like it's not really worth your ammo to even mess with the guy. Like you just really kind of got to run from him.
Makes it a bit scarier.
Yeah, like all the enemies are spongy and deadly.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching a playthrough of that. That's not a game that I would enjoy or play through, but I know, Achievement Hunter Michael Jones, he's playing. I think they're going to play through the whole thing.
Yeah, a lot of people have started doing playthroughs of it. I intend to get to it probably Wednesday, Thursday. I got 2 days off. If I finish some of the other stuff I've got, I'm just probably going to power through that on my days off because I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, like the original Resident Evil 2 in 1998, I literally picked cotton to buy that game. Like,
dang.
Rural Missouri is a sad, sad place.
I get that. I mowed our lawn and worked with my dad doing electrical for SOCOM 2. So that's what, when people were playing Final Fantasy and Resident Evil and shit, I was playing SOCOM. I played so much SOCOM 2 and 3. It's ridiculous. We should talk about the PlayStation 2 era someday, though.
Yeah, because
for now, I want to talk about what we've been playing this week. So I got a couple of things. So I played Subnautica. Played a bunch of Subnautica. That game is just so fucking fantastic. Have you played it?
I have not. I don't own it anywhere.
Not even in the Epic Game Store?
I wasn't going to install the Epic Game Store to unlock a few games I'm never going to play on my PC, Right
now, they're giving away the Jackbox Party Pack, which is great.
Again, things I wouldn't play.
Axiom Verge, you're giving away that next.
Yeah, but I already own that. Like the majority of the games they gave out, like the only one I considered maybe grabbing was Super Meat Boy, because I own it on the PS4, but that's not the actual soundtrack for Super Meat Boy. It's a different one that's not as good, and like a big chunk of playing Super Meat Boy is the soundtrack. And playing a different one that doesn't like fit as good, stands out. So I thought about grabbing Meat Boy, but no.
You might know the answer to this. If I was testing a game that I had to sign an NDA for, can I say if I liked it?
Yeah, you just can't list specifics about it.
Oh, okay. I played Satisfactory. From the Epic Game Store, I can't remember how I got a code to that. I think I just signed up for it. I really enjoyed it.
Is that like the weird little like you're just building like
you building? It's like Factorio but first person.
Yeah, are you like on like a random planet?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember 2 years ago they had like an E3 trailer for that.
Was it 2 years ago? I thought it was this year.
I want to say it may have been 2, but. Yeah, because I remember seeing the trailer, and the trailer was just like super cool and fun.
It looks fantastic.
It may have been just last year, and
It was this year.
I'm just old and losing my brain.
That's fine, me too. But I like games like Satisfactory and Subnautica. Like Subnautica is also fucking terrifying. Like you get real deep and you start hearing all these crazy noises and stuff and seeing these crazy things flying at you, and there's one creature that he sits on the floor of the ocean and just starts kicking up dust and coming after you and shit like but if you like Minecraft or Ark in particular, games like that, I would highly recommend Subnautica because you start off in this little pod and that's it. You have to go out and get resources.
Yeah, because you're
And
crash landed on this water planet.
right. And I don't think we know why we're crash landed.
Yeah, the thing crashes and you're trying to find the rescue pods and get off the planet.
Yeah, you're trying to find survivors and everything. But then there is equipment scattered, and they're in these little cargo crates, and you scan them, or find so many parts of it, then you add a new equipment. You can build an underwater base. You can build a base on land now, I'm pretty sure. You can find, like a little underwater scooter. It's like the little propeller, like single person propeller. You can find you can build a submarine. I think it's called a sea moth. There's so much equipment for you to build. There's so much of your base to build. You can, get an aquarium in your underwater base and put stuff in it to grow it for food. You have to drink water. It's one of those games that, like, I was on it on day one. Like, when it came out on Steam, however long ago, I bought it. When it came out on Xbox, I bought it. I am not as far into it as oh my god, what is the farming game I'm obsessed with?
Stardew.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not as far into Subnautica as I am Stardew, but it's kind of that level of obsession because I just love it and I want to support it. And I don't have a whole lot of games like that, but Subnautica and Stardew are two of them.
Did you ever check out Astroneer?
Yes, I want to play that.
Because that one just looked
so
like
cool.
ground level space Subnautica, essentially. Like, it has a lot of the same even style, like, menus. It felt like looking at this footage and remembering what
I started playing it because I think there's a free trial on Xbox.
Yeah, it was in the past, or whatever, or not the past, but the preview program.
When I play a game like that, I'm like, this is cool. I have to fucking stop. Because I don't want to spoil it, Like, I played, I went to a buddy's house, started playing My Time at Portia, and went, I'm going to fucking love this, and stopped. I just don't want to play it. I want to enjoy it. I don't want to play it for an hour and be like, oh, I missed that, or, that kind of thing. I'm waiting for My Time at Portia to come out on Switch.
Yeah.
That is a Switch game for me.
Well, like, it's like you're talking about NDA, right now, like this weekend, Storm Divers has their
I got invited to that.
much more open beta. Like, so the beta going on now is not under NDA, but all the stuff I played is still technically under NDA. So all I can say is, like, hey, I think that game has promise. You can get a code like pretty immediately if you go to stormdivers.com and sign up for the weekend.
Give it a shot?
Yeah, like it's they added the duo queue to test out for this beta. So, like, this beta you can stream, record, talk about. I didn't feel like getting back into it just because I got so much other crap right now I'm running through.
Yeah, because I still gotta find a Battle Royale. Oh, that's another thing we can talk about. I played Black Ops.
You play the
Blackout.
trial?
Yeah, I played Blackout. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's a very specific feel. You got to get real adjusted to it.
To me, it's, you die so fast in Call of Duty, but you respawn. You're just fine. Not in that. You fucking die and you gotta fucking wait forever. Like, I feel like in PUBG and Fortnite, if somebody runs up on me, still got a chance. If somebody runs up, gets a drop on me, and Blackout, I'm done.
Yeah, the different areas, like, there's a massive amount of open air places where you can just be caught out and just go out fast, way unexpected.
And I think it happened like 3 times, pissed me off so bad. I didn't hear the vehicles until they were literally running me.
Yeah, that's been a problem for some people, because I don't know, like I love, like, the base feel of that game.
Yeah.
But, like, there's still, like, They just introduced like a new loot system on the consoles, which I haven't been able to really check out just because I've been doing too many other things. The level 3 armor is still a problem in that game because level 3 armor just makes it to where you're not dying immediately. Like level 3 armor, like they've done a lot of things to like kind of nerf that thing down a little bit, but it's still ridiculous. Like it still like heavily rewards players for playing super conservative and just like, you know, being a vulture, just coming in and waiting to shoot somebody until after they've been in a fight and, you know, just hiding and waiting and keeping their armor as long as they can because they introduced armor plates and you can repair your armor. Level 3 armor is the only way to get headshot protection. So even if you see the guy in the level 3 armor and you got a big sniper rifle, only like one of the sniper rifles will like, you know, potentially kill the guy with one shot, even if they had the level 3 armor. Otherwise, you just hear clink and he just walks it off. And he's got a second to go, you know, not only heal himself, but heal his armor now. And you're like, well, fuck.
Hey, Troll, are you using the old artwork?
On the little screen there, that's all I got.
Oh, okay.
Short of just making the videos full screen.
Gotcha. Okay, no worries. Just wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just gotta find Battle Royale. Fucking PUBG is my Battle Royale.
Yeah.
It's just so bad on Xbox.
I was gonna say I'm gonna go ahead and flip over to that. I played a bit more Royale.
Yeah.
So
I'm waiting for that to. I'm waiting for certain problems to get fixed there.
So they've done some big changes with the most recent update.
Okay.
They went into full open beta on at least the PS4, so I'd imagine the full open beta is now up on Xbox. So you don't need like any kind of special access. But with PlayStation Plus, they were giving out the Season 2 Battle Pass.
What?
Yeah. So
Nice.
So I was checking that out. That's the reason why I started up. I played like an hour, and at the end of the little hour I played, I got a win there. 10 kills. Felt good. But yeah, they changed some of the systems. So like they've like shotguns are actually relevant.
Oh, okay. That would be nice.
Yeah, because there's a fight somewhere in this video where I come across a guy, and like I hit him with like, you know, my special ability, and I'm pinging him with the little SMG that I've got, which the SMG is absolute trash. But he all of a sudden he just like 2-shots me. I'm like, Jesus, that thing destroyed me.
Yeah.
And then I run away as my chicken. Yeah, it's like they got rid of the chicken totems. So when you kill people, you don't just see like a little random chicken statue sitting there anymore. The characters have progression now.
Oh.
So like if you play a lot as your assassin, you level up. And some of the
Man, I'm gonna get back into Realm Royale, aren't I?
So like when you level up, like they kind of brought some of like the card deck bullshit from Paladins into Realm Royale. So basically like it's not like super stupid like it is in Paladins. It's just pretty basic. Like you pick your class and it's got like the 3 perks, you know, that you normally have that you see in the menu. Like, okay, assassin, he has blink and hidden. They cool down 50% faster and then other stuff. So as you level up, you can swap those out with a different potential set of other like perks. It's like one of the perks for like when you're in chicken mode, like the default you have is like you move faster when you're in the chicken mode, but you can swap it with one that gives you more health when you're in chicken mode. And one of the ones for one of the classes is like when you come out of the chicken mode, if you survive, you come back at full health. But that's, you got to level up pretty far to unlock that for that character.
That's pretty cool, though.
One of the ones for the assassin was the one I was mainly playing because they changed like what guns get a boost for them. So it used to be revolvers got like the damage boost, but now it's only the venom pistol, which is like their class specific weapon. That you can forge for him, or you can find in some of the the open crates you go to.
Right.
But one of the things you can swap out for that damage boost, that basic damage boost for like the heirloom rifle, which is just a sniper rifle without a scope, essentially. And on the sniper rifle, they get a base damage boost. You can swap it out where headshots with sniper rifles do 50% more damage. So it's pretty much anybody you see is a guaranteed one-shot headshot. But that's like a level 29 out of level 30 like perk, I want to say. So it's got like a little more depth. They still have a little bit too much bullshit to keep up with as far as like what actually does what. There's still a few things I'd probably still strip out, but I think it's the healthiest spot it's been personally from what I've seen.
I'm gonna have to download it again for sure.
And it controls a lot better, like as far as like physically aiming, because the last few times I played it, it's like, oh no, what are they doing here? They've stripped some of the settings out that didn't actually affect anything, and they've streamlined it to where it makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's easier for you to actually know what the fuck each setting does and sit there in like the training mode and tweak it and aim at these bots and figure out how it feels. Okay. Yeah, like it's fascinating. Like that game is still slowly plugging along.
Yeah, and Smite's getting ready to come. Actually, it's out on Switch. February 5th might be when it goes crossplay.
Yeah, the big update for most of the games that they had, where they had like full server downtime, was them doing like the back end updating to be ready when they launch the crossplay. But as of right now, my PS4 wouldn't be eligible until they get into the program, until Sony gives them the okay, which they just gave the okay to Rocket League, but Rocket League doesn't have their party system yet, so it's just like filling into queues.
They will.
They plan to launch Rocket ID pretty soon, which will give you the cross-play, party, and progression stuff. So
that's awesome. That makes me want to get it on Switch. I didn't really want to get that game on Switch, but now I do. So I think it's smart. I'm just looking forward to cross progression with Smite. I'd be playing it, now, but I don't want to pay $30 for the God Pack that I already bought.
Yeah, a guy I work with, my buddy Greg, he's just like so mad that he had bought like he started trying to play Paladins on PC, and he saw Paladins, the Founders Pack was on sale on PS4 for like $12 one day. He's like, okay, I'll pick that up. Because, there was a way to link your account at that time. Yeah. But it didn't really do anything. Right. And so he buys this thing, and all of a sudden he's like, well, where are my characters? Where's my pack? It's like, damn it. So he kind of just, like, was just really mad, stopped playing for a while. Damn. But, once they enable this, and he could, theoretically unlock that stuff across all his platforms, he'd probably be playing more Paladins again.
Yeah, I wonder if Realm Royale is going to take a while for all that stuff, since it's so early on in development.
Well, I mean, it was part of their blog post about
it was,
being in that list. I imagine, since all the same building, essentially doing it all, and same engineers in all fronts.
That's smart. They're going to have 3 cross-platform, cross-progression games like very quickly.
Yeah, but that's high res. They're the masters of the knockoff game.
They kind of are. That's okay though. Someone's got to do it.
It's crazy. Like talking to that same guy, Greg, because he's been the guy I've been like catching a ride to work with since my truck is still not fixed.
Shout out to Greg.
Yeah, good guy. Got 5 kids. He's a madman.
Jeez.
But no, we were talking about Realm Royale and like my playing. He's like, he brought up something. He's like, "There's footage you can go find of like when it was just Paladins Battle Royale and not Realm Royale."
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and it is like straight up like the Paladins heroes in this kind of weird map doing Battle Royale stuff, and like this is how weird and like how out of whack and how like insane to have balanced that would have been if they stuck with that. Because you know they've already pulled out the engineer class. The engineer class doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
And yeah, like I said, this game's in a good spot. I'm gonna be checking it out more. It'll be in my rotation of like, all right, I did my weeklies on Fortnite. There's nothing else I really want to get started right now. Nobody's on blackout. Let me run a few games of Realm Royale and keep it going.
So another thing I've been observing, not playing, is the loading screen simulator known as Anthem.
Yeah, it was funny to me, like the whole Discord group of people and different Discords. Like everybody's like, "All right, let's check out the Anthem demo," and it's like loading screen, and then even on their own official stream, it was like, "Hey guys, we're having problems."
And Troll is playing the official video right now. So I hope you all enjoy that.
Yes.
It's a fantastic... Oh, look at that. Still loading.
Yeah, still exactly everything our good pal Jacob saw.
I will say, for full fucking clarity, I'm not mad about this. I'm a little disappointed, but like I haven't paid for anything. I wasted like 30 minutes of my time.
Yeah.
I just, went on Reddit for that amount of time, so it's whatever.
I was gonna say the demo's still running through to the 3rd.
Oh, okay. Is it going that long?
Yeah, because the open beta is from the 1st through the 3rd, so that's when I'm going to check it out.
Okay. So yeah, they'll have it fixed.
Yeah.
I am excited to play it. Like, I really want to know how this plays. I think it's really interesting that like they've said, okay, we're adding a social area because you guys asked for it. Like, oh fuck, okay. Like, keep that up because that's gotta get you headlines and shit.
Yeah, that was the thing of like, it was like when they showed off some of the things and they started showing off some of the customizations for your, for your javelins and like how deep that can go.
I don't want to look into any of it because I just want to experience it.
Yeah, but people were like immediately on their like developer streams and they were showing some of the stuff because they've been having like regular like developer preview streams of them showing off some things like over the months.
Yeah.
And then people are like, all right, we need a spot where you can walk around and like let other people see your shit and not be out in the middle of the world like doing bullshit. Right. So they had like this javelin garage essentially you can go to, and
that's cool. Yeah, man, like I'm excited. This is a game that like I'm 99% sure I'll enjoy it. So I'm not, it's not something I'm worried about that. But I do want to play it to make sure I'm going to enjoy it kind of thing.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like I'm curious to try it out in this demo, but much like the Division 2. I looked at
Monster Hunter and went, I'm going to enjoy that. Played it, fucking hated it.
Yeah, it's like much like the Division 2 for me, it's like I have zero interest in picking up either one of these games. Like even if
you don't really get into these kind of games.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like I'm curious cuz my thing is it's like, yeah, I'm gonna like this game and play it, and I'm done. Like, especially with this game not having any kind of PvP mode. It's like that's the only reason I spent more than 6 hours playing Destiny 1 or 2. Cause that's about how long it takes to play the stuff in either one of those games.
Right. I do think it is very unfortunate that this game is coming out a month. Just like a month exactly, almost probably, before the Division 2.
Yeah, because they're third person, looter shooters.
And Division 2 looks so fucking good. I'm so excited for that game. And if this game had come out in September, October, or something like that, like at least a few months away from Division 2, I would have bought it.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't have. You probably wouldn't have because you would have been playing Forsaken.
Would have been playing what? Division 2?
No, like had it come out in, like last September, like it would have been going up against Destiny.
Oh no, I mean this coming September.
Yeah, this coming September, they probably just like, hey, we got to get it out for the year.
Yeah,
to meet our spreadsheets.
that's very true.
Got to hit them quick maths.
What that was. But it's whatever. It's gonna do well. Division 2 is gonna do well. Division 2 might fucking cannibalize Destiny.
I kind of hope so, but that's
don't hope.
So that's the thing is like I kind of want to talk about it real quick because we haven't done a podcast since they broke up the band.
We've never really done a deep dive on Destiny.
Well, Destiny is finally broke loose from Activision.
Oh fuck, that's right. We haven't talked about that.
No, we haven't.
So excited. I'm so excited about it, and I don't want to talk to you about it because you're gonna have something terrible to say.
I'm not gonna have anything terrible to say. Like, it's like,
I'm not listening.
It's like it was weird to me. The just briefly, like the surprise in people's voices that weren't paying attention is like, what do you mean? Bungie gets to keep the Destiny IP. How did Activision let that through? It's like, well, no, Bungie's always had Destiny. Like, this is always just, hey, Activision, you pay us some money to be able to make this thing, and you'll get most of the money from it, and we keep it when we're done, and we move on.
Yeah, what scenario does Activision keep Destiny? Because then what the fuck happens to Destiny? Like, Vicarious Visions take over everything?
Yeah, because there's 2 or 3 studios that had been doing secondary work with Bungie on both Destiny 1 and 2. Vicarious Vision primarily did the PC version of Destiny 2. Because they
had a lot to do with Forsaken.
Well, they also did the entire port of the PC launch version of Destiny 2. Right. But yeah, there's a lot of unknown questions like we don't have answers for yet as to like, so Destiny 2 on PC is still on the Blizzard launcher, like.
Yeah, and it will be for the time being, I guess.
Yeah, like the Bungie has assumed all publishing rights, so I'm curious where that's going to end up, where when that's finally going to fork off. Yeah, like Epic Store like seems primed to pick up like future release stuff. And like I'm kind of saddened personally that like the smart business decision and the decision like statements they've had from people at Bungie since this went down is like, oh no, they're sticking to Destiny for a while. And like, well, fuck.
Yeah, you want something different.
It's like, don't make something mediocre again, guys. Come on. But they had the $100 million like investment from NetEase, the Chinese company,
right?
And a lot of people kind of assume that might have been like, them developing new IP. NetEase primarily focuses on like free to play and mobile games, which Bungie is a fairly large studio. They could have a small team crank out some new stuff for NetEase, but I have a feeling a lot of people have kind of been going this way that NetEase is probably just buying into the Destiny business currently.
Maybe.
Yeah, the Epic Store seems like the perfect place for them to go to because that's where Division 2 is going. Like,
yeah,
get fucked, Valve.
Apparently, I'll tell you, I'm excited for what's gonna happen now with Destiny, and because a lot of the stuff, a lot of these stupid decisions have been blamed on Activision, but now I'm kind of like, and I always wondered then was it really Activision?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like one of the first things I saw on Reddit, like the day like the official announcement came out about Activision and Bungie splitting, is like one of the top comments that have been upvoted is like, "Goodbye Eververse," and I was like, no, don't think that. There's no reason to assume that's going to go away. Like, why? Why would you assume?
Like, how do we know for a fact that was an Activision thing?
Yeah.
We don't. There's no way.
We don't, and also it's free money. Like maybe Bungie.
I think Eververse is fine. They can leave it.
Yeah, but there are people that just like conceptually just disagree with the existence of microtransactions. Just whether or not they actually believe that, or that's just the rhetoric they're going off of. Like internet personalities tell them they should be mad about it.
Because Eververse is such a fucking weird thing. Because like you get so many of the engrams that give you stuff from Eververse that it's just none of it's important. That's a whole other conversation. But like
this is where you get to see.
I want to tell Bungie like you can't fuck up because you don't have anyone to blame this on.
Yeah, like this is going to be the interesting part of like now that Bungie has the big boy pants. Like how well like poor like Deej and whoever the community managers are these days like deal with like the internet hate coming at them, because like they already have to deal with the casual and the hardcore audience hating each other and being mutually exclusive from one another. It's like, well, guys, like Destiny, you kind of did this to yourself. Like like you were kind of lost in your development of Destiny 2 specifically, and you really kind of created this rift of like the fucking gatekeeper ass Destiny fans that is like, what? No, you got to be this light level. We're not going to talk to you if you don't have this gun to do this raid. Like the bullshit I've dealt with randomly talking to people when the brief dives into Destiny I had is like, like some of these were my own personal friends.
I put a bunch of time into it, and I have friends that they're like, how do you not have X thing? It's like, oh, because I don't have the Whisper of the Worm. The quest to do that is fucking crazy. I just don't want to be bothered for a sniper rifle that's pretty good. Like
But yeah, that was like the thing of like launch Destiny 2 was like just hyper casual, and it like that was appealing to the people that dropped in and bought it day one, but most of those people weren't coming back, as is evidenced by like the disappointing numbers Activision was complaining about on the DLC sales of the previous expansions and Forsaken specifically. Thus, like all the weird like parents arguing quietly while the kid's sleeping.
Right.
Fucking pre-divorce arguments. But yeah, so I'm really curious to see where that goes. Like I wish them the best. Because I like, regardless of my personal dislike of the entire existence of what Destiny's trying to be and the execution
I'm with you, man. I want another Bungie game.
And it's just like it doesn't make sense for them to do anything but Destiny for a while, because I don't imagine they're going to do Destiny 3 anytime soon. It's probably going to be
well, supposedly after this round of DLC, we're going to start seeing and hearing a lot more about Destiny 3. I hope that's not true. If I had my way, I would just have Destiny 2 be it. This be the platform for all future DLC and whatnot.
Yeah,
expansions
also, I don't know the kind of investors outside of, NetEase with that 100 million. Like, 100 million wouldn't be able to fund another Destiny. Like, that's not enough money. Like,
yeah.
It's like, where are they going to get these investments to make the infrastructure? Like there's so many questions about like the future. It's like, hey, if you expect the Destiny 3 anytime soon, expect it to be smaller and lower production values.
Yeah, and I don't know if I want to start over for a third time.
Yeah, that's also the big problem of like you would hope at least if they did make another Destiny, they actually really expand and not just Destiny 1.5, as so many people still complain about Destiny 2.
Yeah. Well, no, I think there was a big jump in technology from Destiny 1 to 2 that was needed.
Yeah, for like the basic shit, but it's still the same 3 enemy types.
Yeah, absolutely. And even like when they were like, "Oh, we're getting a new enemy," it's like, "Oh, they're fucking frozen thrall." Like what?
Yeah, like you fucking you fucking reskin like it's a fucking mid-90s JRPG. You just gave it a different color schemes, you fucks.
Well,
and a different name. It
It
was like
enemies in Forsaken.
yeah.
But they're even sorry. They're even little dudes that explode and a guy that hits hard and a big dude and like
yeah, like I said, I wish them the best, but yeah, if you're expecting a new Destiny anytime soon, lower your expectations. Don't assume microtransactions aren't gonna stay a thing. And yeah, like hopefully they sort it out, because Insomniac has sorted it out for a lot of years. Because like Bungie is probably the only other like independent studio in America the size of a studio like Insomniac or Epic Games.
yeah.
Although I do believe, well, Epic may be publicly traded because they had a lot of like stock buyout from different investors. I'm not certain, so I don't know if Epic Games still technically qualifies as an independent studio. But yeah, it's fascinating.
Ubisoft's too big.
Yeah, I wish Bungie the best.
Absolutely. I can't wait till Division 2 comes out though. Because I feel like they've learned a lot of lessons from the first Division and Destiny 1 and 2, and hopefully they'll have more than loading screens from Anthem.
Yeah. Because I've seen people playing today, like, they've sorted out a lot of it, and people are getting in regularly now, but...
I'll tell you, the biggest reason I was disappointed was because I finally got it to work, was walking around the town, talking to the people, looking at the people like, God damn, this game looks good. And then I get in the fucking Javelin, go on a mission, and it just loads forever. It's so disappointing. But it's fine. I'll get to play it. Probably tomorrow. I mean, they have a billion fucking people fixing it.
Yeah. Because apparently, like, the primary issue wasn't even, like, the servers crashing from overload. It was a whole other, like, back-end, like, software issue, like, contacting their infrastructure.
But this is why we do these tests.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not upset, because I'm just kind of like, ooh, we found the problems.
Because, yeah, like, people were even having, like, frame rate issues because of, like, the loading into the area with the server and the game. Like when it was loaded, like, the game was fine. It was just, like, the weird, like, transitions from area to area. As it was having, like, a bad internet connection, it was, like, dipping frame rate to catch up to, like, the renders of, like, positional data, I guess. It was some weird tech stuff.
And one thing that I've got the BioWare blog pulled up here, because there are account flags that grant player things, like their pre-order incentives and demo access during the demo weekend, but because of a combination of entitlements, it blocks access to the demo.
Yeah.
It's just silly shit. Like, it's whatever.
Well, also,
Here's the thing. I've said this before on the show. In a year or so, when this game has been out for a while and people fucking love it, we'll forget about this.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, people, eventually got over, like, Destiny 1 launch being as fucking hideous as it was.
My favorite comment I've seen on Reddit today, especially on the Anthem stuff, somebody said, I survived the Diablo 3 launch. I'll survive this.
Yeah. Because, yeah, Diablo 3, like, there was, like, a few months there where people just couldn't play it. Like
yeah,
legitimately.
Diablo 3 had all kinds of fucking problems. The cache store and...
Yeah, I'd forgotten, like, how long the cache store was actually up.
Yeah.
And
that game had all kinds of problems, and it's still one of the best games out right now. But I do want to transfer away from gaming a little bit. I want to quickly go through a couple topics here before we wrap up the show, because we are over an hour.
Yeah.
I want to talk about some of our favorite things. Who is your top 3 YouTubers? Go.
for me personally, it's hard to say because I don't actively seek out a lot of specific YouTubers.
Okay.
I guess technically, as far as like stuff I've actually watched currently, that would probably be like the Kind of Funny guys, Easy Allies, and other than that, like I don't have any regular drop-ins other than like going and searching for a specific thing, and then maybe like deep diving on like that person's stuff. Like if I'm like interested from the one thing I looked for, like I was talking earlier today on the ride home with a guy from work, Greg. Like I went down this rabbit hole spiral from Reddit on this guy called the Lockpicking Lawyer. This is a guy like finds these different locks and things, and he like cracks them open like super high speed. Like you spend $150 on this lock, and he got it open in 4 seconds. Like I was like, hey, like these are the ones you should probably believe in. These are the ones that have like a good like warranty policy to like cover theft, like if you report it,
right?
Things like that. But like I saw somebody today in a Discord post like a video from one of the Rooster Teeth affiliated groups, Sugar Pine 7.
Right.
And like the picture of the guy, I was like, he looks exactly like goddamn Cory Barlog, the director of God of War. I was like, is he trying to look like Cory Barlog? And they're like, no. I was like, then why the fuck does he look like young Cory Barlog right now? Like who is this fucking guy?
Yeah, I've got a lot of YouTube channels liked. Because there's certain people like Houndish and Eric's Gaming that I go to for Destiny stuff. And then like I gotta listen to more Colin's Last Stand and Side Quest.
Yeah, like I see the thing is like even with like Easy Allies, Kind of Funny, Giant Bomb, like I've always been more of a podcast listener.
Yeah.
Because I work in a job where I can kind of just keep like one earbud in and keep up on podcasts. I have a commute. I can keep up on podcasts. I play some games. I can just have one ear again, plugged in, and the other ear be game audio. So yeah, like the video podcast is a foreign thing to me, but I do keep up with. Occasionally, like if I happen to open up my YouTube page, like when one of those guys posts like an actual like interesting feature, like when he does like the side quest videos, like I'll watch those every now and then. But it's just like it's so far out of my way from my normal routine that it's hard to keep up. I watch way more Twitch than YouTube personally.
Yeah, see, I've mainly watched YouTube. I think my top 3 probably Achievement Hunter and Kind of Funny and Yogg's Cast. Those are the 3 like I probably couldn't live without because I watched them so much. And like but that being said, my favorite podcast is probably like Joe Rogan and Rooster Teeth. But yeah, I just figured so I wanted to get that out. I also wanted to. We'll talk a little more about that in future episodes. I would love to do like a YouTube centric episode. What are your top 3 favorite movies?
Top 3 favorite movies?
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's one of those things where, like, I don't
just
think
right
about
off the top of your head.
that
We'll
much.
deep dive on this another day.
Let's see here. I mean, most of the ones I immediately think of, like I think back a lot to Castle of Cagliostro. It's like one of the early Studio Ghibli films. It's Lupin the Third, like I've talked about, like that probably being like my favorite anime series of all time.
We gotta have an anime episode, man.
Because yeah, like I can deep dive bullshit and explain anime to a lot of people pretty well, but I mean outside of that, like one of my favorite movies as a kid, Aliens.
Okay.
Like I watched that way too much. Cause like as a kid, like predominantly like all the movies I watched were like martial arts films and like horror movies. Like just just VHS rentals are like the worst shit like a 6-year-old to 9-year-old should be watching.
See, and that's gonna be another good episode because I didn't watch any of that shit.
Yeah, like that's all I watched. Like I remember I'd be talking to people. It's like, you were watching Rugrats. It's like, that cartoon bored the ever living fuck out of me. I was watching a guy get like uppercutted with a pickaxe and like My Bloody Valentine and like the flying headsman of like the guys, the flying guillotine, like the Chinese movie about this group of assassins that throw like this weird cage over people's heads and pull and like decapitates people.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah,
before.
you've probably seen like the GIF.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, like, and then realistically, probably one of my other favorite movies of all time. That it's also James Cameron, like True Lies.
Okay.
Like you want to talk about like just a movie that's just like so goddamn fun. Like,
I would love to do, like, each week we give each other a movie you have to go watch. I think that would be interesting.
yeah, because
I've never seen True Lies.
You've never seen True. Yeah, so True Lies is like the perfect. Like again, like it's a parody of itself essentially. Like True Lies is your Arnold Schwarzenegger, like at like his peak. It's James Cameron like at his peak. I think that movie came out in like '94, so it came out after.
Ah, okay.
It came out after like Terminator 2, so he was already like hustling. Like Tom Arnold's like his buddy. Like it's a parody of like the crazy action movie of the time, but also being a better action movie than most of those. But yeah, it's good stuff. But yeah, I have a feeling like I would go down the deep rabbit hole of weird shit if we're talking about other movies. It's like I'd send you down the Terry Gilliam route.
I think my 3 movies I love right off the top of my head is Saw, probably any of them. I love those fucking movies. Clerks, the first one especially, and the Street Fighter 2 movie, the animated movie.
Yeah, the animated movie. That
It's so
like inexplicably has like corn music in it.
It's just so fucking good.
Yeah.
I was thinking about watching it again. Actually, I need to get Kimberly to watch that. Because she's not really into anime, but that's a good movie.
Have you watched any of the series? Like the actual like thing that was based on the same style? Like they had a short-lived like couple of episodes series.
Yeah. I own it. I don't remember. I must have watched it, but I don't really remember. I might have to go back and watch it. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Yeah, I might have to go back and watch it when I watch the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Clerks is just like one of the best movies ever. I'm a massive Kevin Smith fan. It's another YouTube channel I watch a fucking lot is Kevin Smith.
Yeah, like the only thing I think I regularly keep up with from Kevin Smith these days is Fat Man Beyond.
Yeah.
AKA used to be Fat Man on Batman.
Yeah, that's a fantastic podcast.
Yeah.
I have to have a favorite podcast episode. What would you say is your top 3 favorite games?
Top 3 all time?
Just quick.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, so, like in that list, I'd probably have to go. It feels weird that they're all PS2 games now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, that was like the most formative like era.
I don't think it's weird at all.
But yeah, I mean, top 3 would probably be Resident Evil 2 is PS1, but yeah, Resident Evil 2 was like super important in my life. Like I can tell you, that's one of those games where people would have died otherwise. Like I legitimately would have killed people without that game. Metal Gear Solid 3 and Shadow of the Colossus.
I think for me it would be SOCOM 2, Minecraft, and Stardew Valley.
That makes sense. That makes an odd amount of sense.
Yeah. SOCOM 2 will forever be like one of my absolute top favorite games, just because of the amount of time I put into it and the people I met playing that game, and just I have so many good memories from that game.
You know, it's so
Just
weird
nothing but good
because
memories.
like I never once played a single SOCOM game online.
They were fucking fantastic,
Like
but it was also
I only ever knew them from their single player experiences because like I have this deep weird memory of a PS2 demo disc of the first SOCOM game.
right. Yeah, I played it a lot. We were one of the top 500 clans on SOCOM, something like that. So yeah, I played that game online a lot. Met some good friends that I wish they knew what the hell they were now. And the last topic we can quickly go over is favorite like musician or musical group, music act, whatever the fuck. I think for me, it's probably Linkin Park. Run the Jewels is getting up there, man. I just listen to their stuff and it's so good. But Linkin Park, probably My Chemical Romance, and Kanye West. God, that was hard to say.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, that speaks to the wrestling fan in you that.
I appreciate Kanye.
Yeah, like there's a level of appreciation even if you didn't like his music, like the persona of Kanye.
I think it's hilarious if people hate him.
Yeah, well, he does say some absolutely ridiculous shit sometimes.
He knows it.
Yeah,
He is well aware. And I just think it's fucking hilarious. People are like, "Hey, he's so stupid." Okay, you keep talking about him. What about you?
like one of the things that immediately pops in my mind would be Tom Waits.
Oh man, you're a
Yeah.
Tom Waits guy.
Oh yeah, like he's one of those guys. Like first time I heard him, I was like, "Holy shit, who's this? Who's this crazy old guy?"
What did I just recently heard him or saw him in something.
Yeah, he's been in movies. He's done some acting before. Like he's like this weird I guess pawn shop vendor in like the beginning of the Book of Eli.
He's in Castle Rock. Holy shit! I need to watch that.
He's in a couple different, like one of the Terry Gilliam movies. Like in the last movie, Heath Ledger was in before he died. The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. Like he plays Satan.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think I must have heard him in something. 'Cause I'm looking through like his recent IMDb's. Yeah, I just remember like, is that fucking Tom Waits? I'm not even a big Tom Waits. Well, I guess I'm a big Tom Waits fan. He's really good.
Yeah.
Who else?
Like if we're talking like super important in my early life, that's still like one of those things I come back to. And
early life, late life.
Unfortunately, last year we lost another guy from the band Pantera.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Daryl, old Dimebag, he had the unfortunate event of getting shot to death at a concert quite a few years back, and then his brother Vinny passed away last year.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like
Damn.
as a young kid growing up in Dallas, and that's kind of where they blew up from. Like the Abbott brothers are from that area, and that's kind of where they started most of their stuff. Like that was like the closest thing to religion I had in my life as a real young kid.
Okay.
Yeah, like I was telling my buddy Greg, like going to see those guys live because he never got a chance to see them. Like I was like 8 years old at a Pantera concert and got beer thrown on me from the stage. Like,
damn.
Yeah, so because like at a lot of their live shows, like in the small club venues or smaller theaters, like a lot of times they'd roll out like a cart of like solo cups, like with only like a third of the bottom filled up with beer, so they could flick them to the audience. You could catch them, they'd not spill.
It's funny. I was watching a Joe Rogan podcast, and they were talking about Stained for some reason, the band.
Yeah.
Something about him and the guitarist from Limp Bizkit got into an argument. I can't remember which podcast it was. They were watching a video of the lead singer from Stained, and Joe Rogan's like, he's fucking drunk.
Yeah, like...
You look and you're like, oh, fuck, he probably is.
Yeah.
'Cause he does look like it.
Yeah, old David Draymond, he had problems. He seems to have his shit together. I'm
No,
thinking
not
of
David Draymond.
I'm thinking
Stained.
of Disturbed. You're thinking of you're talking about Disdain. Someone was talking about Disturbed earlier today.
Yeah,
And,
Stained.
Stained. Aaron Lewis. Yeah, he had real bad substance problems there for a while, and he had a few country albums.
So you had Pantera, Tom Waits. Who's your third?
Third, that one's weird to think about.
Okay.
Yeah, because like my music, like my Spotify recommendations are so fucking confused. Cause I go down so many like odd tangents and rabbit holes of like, all right, today
I got Linkin Park and fucking My Chemical Romance and Metallica and then Run the Jewels and
yeah, like literally I looked
what's
at
his name?
like heavy rotation stuff, and it showed some Run the Jewels because I'd re-listened to a bunch of their stuff recently. Had like this Japanese EDM playlist. Then I had Tom Waits. Then I had this metal playlist I'd made. And then I had African traditional drumming.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was about to say. Like the other reason we changed the format of this podcast is because Brian of the Future Heals, he's always bringing me this fucking obscure fucking music. He's telling me about this band called The Who, but it's spelled H-U, and they're a band that uses just Mongolian instruments, and they're fucking fantastic.
Yeah, like that's the kind of like weird stuff I stumble across.
It's so good. But yeah, my Spotify is like all that metal and emo, and then rap, and then pop, and then the Dead South, and it's just it's so fucking all over the place. But it's fun. It's nice to not be stuck in a rut in like a box, because I can't imagine living that way.
It's so weird to me, like the amount of people, like being
only listen to country.
Yeah, they only listen to like modern country, like the awful like hyper commoditized like pop country that's all about like beer and tractors and like the weird like gentrification of black music, repurposing it to young white people.
Otherwise known as Elvis.
Yeah. Well, at least Elvis had some dignity and wrote a lot of his own stuff.
Yeah.
Now they literally have like factories of songwriters and music producers finding people that
they do
fit an image. Like they're making country artists like they used to make boy bands.
Yeah, I remember when we had him on. I think we had him on Future Gamers, Jeremy. When he found out that Linkin Park was a band that was like put together, it crushed him.
Oh yeah, like
fucking crushed him. He still likes them, but it was just like, oh, it's not a natural thing where they met each other. And
no, well, again, you got to think of like the story of even a guy like Elton John. It's like here's this guy. He's like, he happened to meet a guy at like an audition for something, and it's like, well, hey, you can sing and play instruments, but you can't write a song to save your life. This guy's a shit musician, but he can write a beautiful song. And that's the guy he's been working with for like 50 years now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like the random organic experiences, but then again you come across like other musicians like oh no, like that person like never wrote any of their own music. Like they only like did songs.
I don't think that detracts from them though.
Yeah, like Frank Sinatra never wrote his own shit. Like he only
I know that.
did songs people wrote.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
that was like the norm. Like in like the
So Frank Sinatra and Elton John, they didn't write their own stuff.
yeah.
They're still like the most talented motherfuckers that ever walked this planet.
Yeah, like Frank Sinatra still picked a lot of his like personal band, and like he picked a lot of the actual people to work with to write his songs. So like they had a talent to spot like the things that fit with who they were, but
you find people that make your weaknesses strengths.
yeah, like there's a lot of comedians that had people write for them. Even Richard Pryor at his height of being a legend, had other people writing for him.
Just like I'm a vanilla, boring person, so I found the weirdest motherfucker on the internet and made a podcast with him.
Yeah, geez, where is Bob anyway?
Yeah, sure, I'm talking about Bob.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Hey, Ben.
So on that note, I think we'll go ahead and wrap this up because my boy should be waking up soon.
Yeah, and we're about at an hour and a half. Boy.
So, I don't have an outro for this show either.
Yeah, we don't really have anything. Just expect more of this. We're gonna get back onto our regular schedule here of doing this normally.
Where can they find you, Troll?
As always, Trollbeard with the _. I'm on, Twitch, Twitter. Get a hold of me. Stop by. Say hi. I'm always goofing around somewhere.
And I'm on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Best of the Realm. Facebook is Best of the Realm Gaming. You can find all these things. Tomorrow I'm watching the Royal Rumble. Hopefully I'm doing a podcast with the Heels. Probably not though.
So
hopefully the boys are getting back together.
You gonna use like the idea I had for the best name for wrestling podcast ever for that one?
What was that one? I don't remember.
The Royal Ramble.
I bet you somebody's got that.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I want to change the name of all of our shows, not change just one. Oh, maybe not.
Maybe not.
Or actually, no, I'm saying maybe not. Somebody has the Royal Ramble. Oh, yes, they did. Royal Ramble podcast. This is not a shout out to them. Fuck off of them.
Yeah. Hey, beat it, stupid.
They're in Australia. Yeah, they can definitely fuck off.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Well, there's a couple Royal Rambles.
Yeah, like it was just too good of an idea.
That's okay. Digital Recess is not an original idea.
No, definitely
We just
not.
have to become bigger than the old show. I was told not to do it, but here we are.
Giggity.
So yeah, thank you for listening to the podcast, guys. Go support us. Tweet about us. Just tweet at us while you're listening. Tweet at us right now, because I'm telling you to. Leave us a review. Find us on Facebook. I'm going to bed now.
Me too, bud.
Bye.
Bye.